Today's meeting is being live cablecast on SFGov TV and streamed live online at sfgovtv.org/ethicslive. For public comment, members of the public may attend in person or may participate by phone or the WebEx platform as explained in our agenda document. Mr. Clerk, can you please explain how the remote public comment will be handled today?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Public comment may be available on each item on this agenda. Each member of the public will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. For those attending in person, opportunities to speak during the public comment period will be made available here in room 400, City Hall. For those attending remotely, public comment period can also be provided via phone call by calling 1-415-655-0001. Again, the phone number is 1-415-655-0001. Access code is 2663-914-1176. Again, access code 2663-914-1176, followed by the pound sign. Then press pound again to join as an attendee. When your item of interest comes up, press *3 to raise your hand to be added to the public comment line. Public comment is also available via the WebEx client application. Use the WebEx link on the agenda to connect and press the raised hand button to be added to the public comment line. For detailed instructions on how to interact with the telephone system or WebEx client, please refer to the public comment section of the agenda document for this meeting. Public comment may also be submitted in writing and will be shared with the Commission after this meeting has concluded and will be included as part of the official meeting file. Written comments should be sent to ethics.commission@sfgov.org. Members of the public who attend Commission meetings, including remote attendance, are also expected to behave responsibly and respectfully. During public comment, please address your comments to the Commission as a whole and not to individual members. Persons who engage in name-calling, shouting, interruptions, or other distracting behavior may be excluded from participation. The following behaviors or activities are strictly prohibited during remote participation: applause or vocal expression of support or opposition, signs regardless of content or message, profanity, threats of physical aggression. The prohibition on signs does not apply to clothing, which includes signage pinned to clothing, messages displayed on clothing, pins, hats, or buttons. This provision supplements rules and policies adopted by City Hall, the Sheriff's Office, or the Board of Supervisors related to decorum, prohibited conduct or activities, noise, etc., and is not meant to be exhaustive. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Order. Agenda item number 1, roll call, please.
Commissioners, please verbally indicate your presence by saying aye after your name is called. Aye. Commissioner Flores-Fang.
Aye.
Commissioner Finlove. Chair Lee. Aye. Commissioner Salahi.
Aye.
Madam Chair, with 3 members present and accounted for, you have a quorum.
And Commissioner Finlove is excused. Now let's go to agenda item number 2, which is general public comment on items not on today's agenda. Let's first go to members into the room.
All right, sir, please stand by. Your 3 minutes begins now.
Yes, sir. Good morning. It's the second time I think I show up in front of you. Okay, today it's going to be you hold this meeting on Bastille Day, so it's interesting since I'm French. But it's just one of these other San Francisco incidents of why I'm here to deliver this message to you here. I've talked to the Board of Supervisors a few times now since February, and late February I stated something which is, okay, hold on, pay attention. Basically, I've been ordered, it's beyond my control, by the skies, to change the course of humanity with a precedent here in San Francisco, USA, California. So now it's a process. I explain to you how it works. I'm going to need to talk to the camera here because it concerns everybody. The reasons for being of everything is happiness. So all universe, this is the rules of existence. It's happiness. The only way you can achieve your reason for being, which is happiness, is to focus on an emotional, eternal aspiration that we humans define as beauty. It's an aspiration. If you don't do that, you lose your reason for being, which is happiness. That's it. It's game over. You're out of existence because the rules are implacable. So we must understand, because it's so easy to understand, isn't it? It's very easy to understand. So ethics fits in this concept of achieving your reason for being. But we must focus on beauty. Okay, one thing very absolutely important is technology. Technology, as it is today, cannot help us to do that because technology works on a mechanical system that clashes systematically with the emotional aspiration, which is aiming at beauty. It cannot work. So technology today has attained a level of convenience that works against us. So it's specific with AI, all these things. Your smartphone works against your happiness. Be aware, okay, last thing, there is nothing you can do against me. It's not possible. The only thing you can do against me is to be extremely unhappy. I'm sorry, guys. I need to fulfill my mission. I have no choice. Okay. Have an excellent day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the queue?
Madam Chair, we have one caller in the queue. Please stand by. Welcome, caller. Your 3 minutes begins now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say that prior to the previous speaker, I had difficulty hearing you, and I did not hear the cue to press *3 to get in the queue for this public comment. However, your most recent pronouncement I could hear loudly and clearly, so I hope the problem is solved. My name is Winship Hillier, and I have submitted 3 complaints in the last 2 months against Mr. Colfax, the Director of Health. And one of them, I sent an email after I didn't receive a number for the complaint. I sent the email 3 weeks after I filed the complaint on May 12th, and I got an email back from Jeff Zumwalt saying that the number assigned was 23-605. However, I also filed a complaint on June 15th, over a month ago, and 3 weeks after I filed that, I sent another email trying to get a number for it, and I have not gotten any response to that email. Sent an email to SF Ethics, and so I'd like to know what the number is for that complaint. And with respect to 23-605, the one I filed on May 12th, I'd like to know whether you have jurisdiction. It's been over 2 months now, and I'd like to know. And the most recent complaint was just filed this week. It would be nice if I could get a number for that one too. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. And I think the staff, a staff member will be reaching out to you for a follow-up later on today.
Madam Chair, there's no further callers in the queue.
Okay, public comment for item number 2 is closed. Let's go to consent calendar. Of the Ethics Commission's June 9, 2023 regular meeting. Agenda number 4, Acting Executive Director's Report. Number 5, proposed amendments to the Statement of Incompatible Activities for the Public Works Department, Public Works Commission, and Sanitation and Streets Commission. And item number 6, proposed stipulation, decision, and order in the matter of Granite Morton. Do I have a motion to approve this? Okay.
I'll move to approve.
Seconded.
Okay. Motion is moved and seconded. I just want to add a comment to the acting executive director's report. It is really a nice report on the budget being restored. And I want to thank the acting director and their team for the hard work that you have done to make sure that we have the budget restored for this year and the next year. This really reflects on the important work that the commission staff has done and will continue to do. So thank you very much. Let's open up for public comment. Oh,
I would just
anyway.
like to second that. It's very helpful to have this breakdown and summary and to just be consistently kind of apprised of the state of things. I'd also like to add that it would be helpful if we could also receive updates or kind of summaries of how the legislation that Supervisor Safai has introduced is going. Just, I think it's very relevant, especially given what's on the agenda today. So if we could have a summary at the next meeting or like within that time, that would be really helpful for us. Thank you.
Let's go to public comment. I see no one in the room. Let's go to the queue, please.
Madam Chair, we have no callers in the queue.
Okay, public comment is closed for consent calendar. Let's take a vote.
Please stand by. On the motion to adopt the consent calendar, Commissioner Flores-Fang,
Aye.
Chair Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Salahi.
Aye.
Madam Chair, with 3 votes in the affirmative and 0 votes opposed, it's approved unanimously.
Okay, let's go to regular calendar, agenda item number 7, which is the request for waiver of post-employment restrictions for Joanne Lee. Before we begin, I want to make a full disclosure. While I am not familiar with this nonprofit organization, I have been friends with the interim executive director for many years, and I have also have a long community working relationship with the organization's vice chair. We worked on numerous civil rights advocacy issues for many years, and he and I also served on the police commission for a year. So that is my full disclosure. Now let us go to our staff member, Mr. Kenning, to give us an overview of this matter.
Thank you, Chair Lee. I'd like to briefly provide some background and introduce the issue regarding Joanne Lee's waiver request. Joanne Lee is currently the Deputy Director of Programs with the Arts Commission, a position that she's held since 2019. Ms. Lee has received an employment offer from the Chinatown Media Arts Collaborative, or CMAC, where she would be the Executive Director of CMAC's new Edge of the Square project. Lee was made aware of this position in December of last year, applied in January, and participated in several interviews in February and April before being offered the position in April. Lee is currently seeking a waiver from the Commission to allow her to accept this position with the CMAC. A waiver is necessary because Ms. Lee personally and substantially participated in the award of 2 grants to CMAC as a city official, the Storm Relief Grant and the NIS grant, both of which are detailed in the staff memo. The city has a rule in subsection 3.234A3 of the Campaign and Governmental Conduct Code, which prohibits officers and employees from being employed by or otherwise receiving compensation from any person or entity that's entered into a contract with the city in the preceding 12 months, where the officer or employee was personally and substantially involved in the award of that contract. In both the Storm Relief Grant and the NIS grant, Lee was personally and substantially involved in awarding the grants, and those grants have been or will soon be entered into within the last 12 months. The Commission has the authority to waive this prohibition for Ms. Lee only if the Commission determines that imposing the restriction would cause extreme hardship for Ms. Lee. Now, neither the code nor Commission regulations define extreme hardship, so the Commission has flexibility in determining what is an extreme hardship and when it applies. However, the Ethics Commission regulations do specify things the Commission may consider when determining if imposing this rule would constitute extreme hardship. These factors are the vocation of the individual, the range of employers the individual could work for, the steps the individual has taken to find new employment, and any other factors the Commission deems relevant. As described in the staff memo, the staff recommendation is to not grant the waiver to Ms. Lee. This is based on a fairly narrow view of extreme hardship that is focused on the factors described in Commission regulations. Considering that Ms. Lee is currently employed by the city and has not engaged in a lengthy or exhaustive search for employment, it does not appear that there is an imminent financial hardship associated with her not being able to accept this position with CMAQ. She would also appear to have other options for meaningful, rewarding employment through either remaining with the city or pursuing opportunities elsewhere. To the larger goals of the Campaign and Governmental Conduct Code, specifically those regarding undue influence or unfair advantage and promoting the idea that government decisions should be and should appear to be made on a fair and impartial basis, staff largely agrees with Lee and many of the people who have submitted public comment that the risk in that area is minimal. However, the standard in the code for this rule is not about undue influence or unfair advantage. It is about the existence of extreme hardship. And it is up to the Commission to determine if not awarding the waiver would cause Ms. Lee extreme hardship. Staff would further recommend that if a waiver is granted to Ms. Lee, that it be narrow and only apply to this position with CMAQ and not be able to be used for any other potential prohibited employers or positions. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kenning. And let's see if Ms. Lee is present and if she wants to address this commission. Welcome.
Thank you. Let me try to get this going. Good morning, and good morning, President Lee and Commissioners. Thank you for consideration of my waiver request to allow me to work for CMAQ. I'm Joanne Lee, the Deputy Director of Programs at the San Francisco Arts Commission, where I started about 4 years ago. I oversee our various arts programs and serve as a liaison to other city departments on program-related initiatives. I've also served on the Mayor's Economic Recovery Task Force, and so much of my focus right now is to align our agency's programs with the Mayor's priorities for arts to play a key role in the city's economic recovery. So 3 months ago, when I received an employment offer from CMAQ, to be the inaugural executive director of Edge on the Square, it really is a dream come true for me. Before working for the city, I've spent over 25 years working for nonprofit organizations here in San Francisco, and over half of that time in Chinatown, where I developed affordable housing and served as a senior manager at a community organization. This position with CMAQ is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me. It marries my skills, my experience, and passions to lead a project that includes real estate development, economic revitalization, nonprofit management, arts, and culture in the very heart of Chinatown, in an emerging community organization that's really poised to be an economic catalyst for Chinatown and the city. So this position is the perfect culmination of my career and would be an extreme hardship for me to not be able to pursue it. As a Chinese American woman who visited my grandmother in Chinatown as a child, tutored in Chinatown while I was a student at UC Berkeley, and worked there for 15 years, this is a dream position. After 3 decades as a deputy director and senior manager, this is an opportunity for me to finally lead an organization as the executive director. I could go on about each of the grant issues. I'm not sure if that's what you'd like me to discuss or if you'd like me to stand for questions.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm very cognizant of your time. I also have a representative from the Arts Commission here today. The Director of Cultural Affairs couldn't be here, but our Communications Director could also make a statement on behalf of my home department.
Okay. Well, since we already have the documents, maybe if we want to ask detailed questions, we can do that later. And since we have a department representative here, if she or he wish to make any comments.
Good morning, Chair Lee and Ethics Commissioners. My name is Komate. I'm the Director of Communications for the San Francisco Arts Commission, and I'm here today as Acting Director of the Arts Commission on behalf of Ralph Remington, who is out of the office and was unable to join us today. And we are here to show support from the Arts Commission in support of Joanne Lee's request for a waiver. I will be reading a letter of support provided by Director Remington. So dear Chair Lee and Commissioners, I'm writing to express my strong support for Joanne Lee's waiver request to enable her to work with the Chinatown Media and Arts Collaborative immediately upon her departure from city employment. I've had the great fortune to work with Joanne since I became Director of Cultural Affairs at the San Francisco Art Commission in January of 2021. Joanne's vast knowledge and experience in and with San Francisco's community has helped me quickly understand our local arts and cultural sector and how the SFAC can best support the sector to ensure that San Francisco remains one of the top arts and cultural cities in the United States. While Joanne has only worked for the city and county of San Francisco for under 4 years, she has stewarded the SFAC during an unprecedented time of change. She has served under 4 directors, 2 of whom were interim, and during a global pandemic, and with a 40% staff turnover rate. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Joanne served as the Mayor's Economic Recovery Task Force, and as well as coordinating the Arts Commission's disaster service worker deployments, and was also deployed herself. She has filled in for multiple vacant leadership roles, including Director of Galleries, Director of Community Investments, and as Capital Programs Manager, as well as supervising many staff over the years. As the Deputy Director of Programs, in addition to overseeing our programs, Joanne has served as a representative to various interdepartmental initiatives, including the Dreammaker Initiative, Cultural Districts Program, and with the Nonprofit Sustainability Initiative. Whenever able, Joanne also supports other city departments by serving on grant review panels and hiring panels, and is a common participant in many departmental initiatives. As in all of her work, she does this so professionally, objectively, and with integrity. I have nothing but praise for Joanne's work at SFAC. She has always performed at the highest level and with emotional intelligence, professionalism, respect, and integrity. I will miss her immensely, but I know that this position at CMAC is the perfect culmination of her professional experience and passion. She has never been an executive director, but she is clearly ready. The CMAC position is a unique one that draws on all of her skills, experience, and commitments, and it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Her service to the city has been incredibly remarkable, and I know that she will bring her creativity, passion, and work ethics to CMAC and the Chinatown community. Please feel free to contact Ralph Remington with any additional questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, do you have any questions for Mr. Canning or Ms. Lee?
I'm comment before I ask my questions.
Okay.
Likewise.
Okay. See.
And you need to call for public comment, Joan?
Okay. Can we go to public comment first before we make any motion?
Sure.
Okay, so let's go for public comment. Seems like we have quite a few folks who wish to make public comments. So let us go to 2 in room and then go to the queue, and then we alternate back and forth. Okay. So let's go to the room.
Bro, I do need to mention that we had a little audio glitch earlier, so I just need to kind of reiterate to the folks who want to make public comment in person and remotely. Each member of the public will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. For those attending remotely, please call us. Please call 1-415-655-0001. Use access code 2663-914-1176. Followed by the pound sign, then press pound again to join as an attendee. When your interested item comes up, press *3 to raise your hand to be added to the public comment line, and that's for the folks who want to make who are dialing in remotely.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, good. Let's proceed with public comment first. 2 speakers in room, please?
Welcome.
President Lee, Commissioners, my name is Aaron Peskin, and I am the elected representative representing the northeast corner of San Francisco, commonly known as District 3, and wanted to personally express what I set forth in writing to members of the Commission on July 5th, which is my unreserved, strong support for Ms. Lee's post-employment waiver request. I realize that this is a relatively rare occurrence, but think that it is very important that it be granted. I understand staff's recommendation and would associate myself and urge you to consider that the request be narrowly tailored and limited to the CMAQ position, which indeed would be the culmination not only for Ms. Lee, but most importantly for the community of her professional experience and deep-rooted commitment to the community. And when I think about the notion of hardship, I would like to say that it is not only a matter of economic hardship, and it is not only a matter of hardship to be assessed as to Ms. Lee. I think it should also be assessed as to hardship for the community. This is an unparalleled opportunity for the community and this institution. And I was also very pleased by the acknowledgement in the staff's report